This fan-run podcast is brought to you by DraftKings.
DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, giving new customers a can't-miss offer. New customers can bet just $1 on any NFL game and win $100 in free bets if either team scores a point. The last 0-0 tie in the NFL was 1943, so folks, this is a no-brainer. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now.
Kicking off in the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios. So hour 2 of headlines. Draven, you got some headlines?
I do indeed. This is one's for you, John.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I know. I was getting a little worried because I wanted to bring this up. First trailer for Scream is out, and it looks awful.
Yeah, that's all you're
and
gonna
it
do.
looks terrible. It looks just
I
like
love
one
the
of those really cheap, just no good plot whatsoever scary movies. That's what it looks like. That's what you're going to be in for when on January 14th, 2022, as again the first official trailer for Scream has come out.
Just like the little jabroni mark you are, you fall for it.
You better quit calling me jabroni.
It's the perfect trailer. It does just enough. You see the mask, perfect. That's all I need to see. Don't give me too much of the movie.
It just looks... They just can't keep doing this.
What do you mean?
They can't keep doing this.
Doing
the
what?
only way this movie is going to be good is if one of the main characters who are there, the original characters...
Just don't even finish your sentence. You're not going to sit here and tell me how the series, the only way it's going to be good. You don't know what you're talking about.
It's just going to be another random Joe in a mask going on a killing spree. Like, oh boy, didn't see that one in the first, 4? Is this 5 or 4? 5? It's 5. Come on.
So you'd rather have one of the 3 main characters just go crazy and kill somebody and kill a bunch of people?
Yeah, I think that'd be
That would
cooler.
ruin the
He was sitting there this whole time.
No,
His
that's
mind
so
was twisted from all the
stupid.
horrific events that he went through
That's so
in the
stupid.
past
That's
years.
that's
Dewey,
10 times
Dewey
worse.
losing it because
That's 10 times
Courtney
worse.
Cox would not take him back. He still loses it. He goes on a killing spree, wants them all dead after everything he did for him, and she denies him. Huh?
No.
There's your plot right there.
He's the moral
I'd
center.
have just guessed it, actually.
He's the moral center of the movie.
Who's the killer then?
I don't know.
See, it's just going to be some random guy, just like it was in the last, 4? I don't even remember what 4 happened. I know 3, it was like the killer's brother's cousin or something. It was like some random guy. I was like, what are we doing?
The third one wasn't great.
It was stupid. Who was the, no, spoiler alert.
Spoiler in the fourth one. It's
You don't have to
Halloween
spoil
time.
the 4th one, that's fine. But the 3rd one, which came out in like early 2000s, who was the
Yeah.
killer? It was like the guy, original killer's mom's other son or something?
No,
Okay. I don't know.
it was Sydney's brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. Why was he killing her?
Because basically the whole plot of Scream is that Sydney's mom was just a whore. That's basically all they did to her. And yeah, so they say in the third one she was in Hollywood trying to be an actress, got knocked up, had the baby, abandoned him, went to live in Woodsboro and raised Sydney and abandoned him. That's why he wanted to kill her.
Pretty dumb. Pretty dumb. Either way, that's fine.
Whatever.
I like Scream. I'm not trying to sound like a Scream hater. I like
Well,
the first
you are.
one.
You are a
I like
hater,
the second
and I don't wanna
one.
hear it. No,
but
I don't wanna hear it.
Who was the killer in the second one? Remind me.
I'll tell you off. I don't want to ruin it for everybody in case we're watching. That's the funnest part about watching
If
the
you haven't
movies is
seen-
trying to figure out who the killer is.
You haven't seen Scream at this point. Come on. Especially the first 3.
Have
at
you
least.
even seen it? You don't know anything that happened in it.
I can't remember.
You want to critique
I just
the
remember
series.
she's in college or something.
Here's the thing.
What?
I prefer it this way. The trailer doesn't really show you anything. The star
The opening
of Scream.
scene looks dumb. It's the same one as the first one.
I liked the new twist on it though, with the doors locked. Those damn apps
Locked
on your
and
phone.
unlocked.
Those
Yeah.
apps on your phone that can unlock all your doors. It's kind of scary. If you think about it.
I think you're just being a little...
Nope.
Biased here.
All it takes for me is to see that mask, and I feel good about it. That's it. That's all it takes.
So you have pretty high expectations for this.
No. Wes Craven's dead. Wes Craven's the man. Like, he's dead. It's hard to hold him to that same standard. Although the director, the guys who are doing it did Ready or Not, which is one of my favorite movies that's came out in the last handful of years. You ever seen Ready or Not?
I don't think so.
Great movie. Great movie. Great scary movie. And they're the ones doing it, so I got high hopes for it. Those guys are good. Just leave me alone. What, you brought it up just to try to make me mad, just try to make fun of it. I knew what
No,
you're
I'm
doing.
not. I just was curious to get
The
your
audience
thoughts. I
doesn't
was
care. You
disappointed.
can ask me during the commercial break. The audience doesn't care. You didn't ask my thoughts. Your take was the trailer, and it looks terrible, John.
I was saying if you agreed. Some people care. Some people are big Scream fans.
I don't mind trailer. I'd rather the trailer be terrible and the trailer would be good. Don't show me everything in the movie. I won't watch another trailer that comes out. I shouldn't have watched that one.
Probably right. We got sports news. Let's move to the NBA, shall we? Right around the corner. When's official tip-off for Game 1?
Of the NBA?
Yeah. Late October? Right? Couple weeks,
No,
maybe?
next
week?
Tuesday.
Really?
Yep.
That's soon.
A week from today.
I thought it was a couple weeks away. But, yeah, the Kyrie situation, it's gotten to that point as Nets GM Sean Marks announced that Kyrie Irving will not play or practice with the team until he is eligible to be a full participant. So, he is pretty much banned from the team until he is vaccinated.
It seems to be the right thing to do. Kevin Durant was a part of the group, as was James Harden, a part of the group that made the decision what to do with Kyrie, and it, to me, makes it seem like Durant and Harden are perfectly fine with this and probably push this. You can't be out there half the time. You can't be practicing. You just got you don't. That just messes the team up.
Has to, right?
Like, hey, we got a different game plan for half the games because Kyrie's playing. It's not fair to Patty Mills. It's not fair to the who else is on the team. It's not fair to Durant and Harden. And maybe this will finally put some pressure on Kyrie, and maybe he gets vaxxed up. Maybe he doesn't. We'll see how he responds.
That's the question, though. I mean, do you expect him to get vaccinated, to play in a Nets uniform this year, or?
I really don't know what to do with him. I really don't know.
It's gonna be
What
tough.
do you think? I mean, do you think he's going to give in and get vaxxed up?
I think he will eventually. Right? You can't just sit out the whole season. What's he going to do?
Cam, what do you think?
I could see him retiring. It wouldn't surprise me.
I think that would be more likely than him just not do anything.
Yeah. I think he had to know it was going to come down to this point at some point. You would think. So he's got to make the call one way or the other. It feels like
Tough situation. Nets, I mean, favorite to win the championship. Maybe not so much anymore.
They're probably still the favorite with Durant and Harden, but it's definitely more wide open.
It is. No doubt about it. And another key movement late last night. Ben Simmons, how about it? Returned to Philly and apparently didn't tell anybody. Didn't tell anybody he was coming.
Just showed up.
Ready to work. How about it? What do you think about this move from Ben Simmons? Why would we not tell anybody, though?
He got tired of losing money, I guess.
Do you think that this is going to be maybe awkward at all or anything after kind of the little holdout that he did have? Joel Embiid did get asked about that, I guess, and he says he does have faith in Ben Simmons. He says, I think there's going to be some adjustments, but it doesn't need to be awkward. We're all professionals. We want to win. We give the best chance to win. He gives the best chance to win, and we're going to be fine, was what Embiid said. But do you expect any little tension maybe from I mean, it's got to be a little
They said
weird.
there was a bleep Ben Simmons chant at Wells Fargo Arena last night during a TV timeout.
Yikes.
So when I was asking about what Philadelphia fans do they try to win back over, it seems like the ones at least that are crazy enough to go to preseason games want no part of him.
Still, I guess they're still going to be kind of looking around for potential trades. We said that yesterday, but he's back. How many times did he get fined? Lost a little bit of money, didn't he?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think he can get it just by showing up now. I don't know how much he gives up or whatever, but he wanted his check.
Yeah, that's what that came down to. But he is back. Interesting NFL headline for you. Did you guys see what Ron Rivera just said? Riverboat Ron?
I saw a headline on it, but go ahead and tell me and the audience exactly what he said.
So I guess, I don't know, he's having his press conference maybe, just talking about them last year, and this is interesting. He said, I mean, you almost want to say, man, I wish 7-9 last year wouldn't have been good enough to win the division. That way the expectations would have been much lower and been a little bit easier, he said. This is hard. This is the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be hard. It's because it's the only way you learn.
I mean, if they hadn't won the division last year, less people if they hadn't won the division kind of by default last year, less people would be down on them this year.
What a loser comment, though. Are you kidding me? That's
Same thing Mac Brown said, basically.
A little bit of pressure. We can't handle it.
Yeah. Same thing Mac Brown said, basically.
Jeez, that's when you know you're a coach in trouble. That's when you know. What a sad quote. What a sad quote. By the way, Bussin' with the Boys. Finish up headlines here. Might be coming to Knoxville, John.
Oh, cool, man.
Might be coming to Knoxville. We got Barstool coming to Knoxville, too. Listen, everybody's going to be in Knoxville this weekend. Barstool, Bussin' with the Boys, they're all going to be here. How about it?
Well, Bussin' with the Boys is Barstool.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah, no, they're sending their college football like game day stuff here. So I mean, it's going to be. I don't know what the rest of the schedule is this weekend, but Tennessee Ole Miss, one of the hot games, one of the hot tickets. What are the biggest games this weekend?
I mean, you got Georgia, Kentucky at 3:30.
No one expects that to be a game.
No,
Oklahoma State,
no.
Texas. Maybe if Texas would have won last week.
And that's at noon. Is there any good games nighttime?
No, it doesn't look like it.
TC, Oklahoma. And
Looks like Tennessee Ole Miss might be the best game of the weekend. So it
really
makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes
Because,
sense.
yeah, I mean, Bama, Mississippi State's the only other game, really, 7 o'clock ESPN, so that's not much probably not much to watch for either, so.
Hour 1 headlines. Hour 2 headlines. Damn it. Hour 2 headlines were brought to you by the G3 Help Me hotlines and the Knoxville-based law offices of G. Turner Howard III. If you or a loved one has been injured in an accident, you can get the compensation that you deserve. The law offices of G. Turner Howard III want to help at G3 You Matter Most. Visit g3helpme.com or call them at 865-401-8214 to get help now. That's g3helpme.com. Again, g3helpme.com. Back on the program. Anything else from the NFL we need to put a bow on? From last week that was? Who has surged ahead in MVP votes? I mean, is it too early to start talking about that? We are now, 5 games in? That's somewhere like 28, 29% of the way in. Cam, who you guys the leader right now?
Probably gonna lean. Is it Josh Allen gonna get in the conversation again? I feel like his numbers I don't think have been great for it, but I feel like if they keep winning like this, he's one way or the other just gonna end up one of the guys that they're talking about.
Allen, I think you're going to have a handful of quarterbacks be in the mix between Allen, Collar,
Brady.
Is Herbert going to be in there
Herbert's
right now?
If they keep winning, I think, yeah.
Lamar looks to me he's doing everything for that team.
Dakota.
No running backs.
Did you see that he is I think if you took his total yardage, he'd be the 15th, 15th team in the NFL as far as total
Who's
offense.
this?
Lamar.
Oh, Lamar.
I didn't know it was that high, but I saw that he
Yeah.
had more yards than a handful of teams. I didn't know it was
Yeah,
that
he'd
high.
be number 15.
They lost the rushing streak, though, didn't they? The 100-yard
did.
rushing
They
streak,
did.
yeah. That's what I thought.
Right now on FanDuel, your MVP favorites.
You didn't mention Dakota, by the way. Dakota Rain Prescott, my friend. He's in the conversation.
I think it's more Zeke team, honestly.
Okay.
Zeke's been really
13
good.
touchdowns, 3 picks. I believe he has
Hasn't really
second
passed.
highest completion percentage.
Hasn't really passed the eye test for me, although we'll see.
We'll see.
He is number 3 right now, tied with Herbert in terms of FanDuel's odds.
There you go.
I think you're getting the Cowboys boost there. Josh Allen, the favorite at plus 450. Kyler at 5-1. Dak at 6-1. Herbert at 6-1. Brady at 8-1. I guess Rodgers, we didn't include him,
Oh, yeah.
at 9-1. Lamar Jackson at 12-1 seems like good odds to me right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
With the numbers he's putting up. Any chance at 80-1, Derrick Henry? Any chance that he can be in the mix at 80-1?
No.
Have to pull some of these upsets.
No.
He's the yardage leader in the NFL right now.
No.
Is he still the yardage leader? I believe he was heading into the week. Is he still the yardage leader coming out with total yards? Not quarterbacks, obviously, who throw for hundreds of yards.
No offense to you, John, or your Titans, but I just don't think they're going to have a good enough record for him to get MVP. It's either Titans going to have to be the top seed and he carries them, or he's going to have like Adrian Peterson almost breaking the rushing record kind of year.
Well, he's on pace for that.
Okay, well, there's also a lot of players on pace to break records right now. It's a long season.
Who's on pace to break records besides that?
There's going to be passing records broken, I'm sure. I mean, Brady has how many yards through the first 5 games? How many touchdowns? I mean,
have we talked about Brady breaking records? I haven't seen anybody really talking about
I'm just saying. Like,
Or is he on pace to get to
there's going to be a
55,
lot
I
of
guess?
records broken. We've talked about this. There's an extra football game. Like, there's going to passing yards, receiving yards. There's going to be records broken here or there.
Okay.
I'm not trying to disrespect Derrick Henry, but
I said no at 80-1. I mean, it seems like a lot of people give him credit. Again, has the most yards. How many touchdowns does he have? He's got 2 games with 3 at each. So I'd say he's up to 8 or 9?
how many did he have against the Jags? 2, right?
3.
Oh, did he have 3?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So I mean, if he has,
He has 7.
7 already, 7 through 5 games. If he ends up with 20 touchdowns and 2,000 yards, that'd be enough to even get him in the top 5, or is it just strictly a quarterback award now?
It is. I was going to say that. Well, we had Adrian Peterson was the last one, 2012.
Well, I mean, what Adrian Peterson did in 2012 isn't dissimilar to what Derrick Henry's doing right now. I mean, I don't think it is.
I think it is. Minnesota was not going to be a playoff team. Adrian Peterson literally carried them to the wild card, even when their who was their quarterback, Christian Ponder, whoever the hell it was, got hurt.
I mean, so far through 5 games, if Derrick Henry wasn't on this team, the Titans might be 0-5.
They still got Ryan Tannehill.
Right, but Brian
Still a pretty
Tannehill
good
with
quarterback.
no
They're still a
receivers.
team that was expected to win the AFC South, expected to be maybe the 2nd or 3rd best team in the AFC.
I don't remember what the Vikings' expectations were in 2012.
Probably wasn't very high. Didn't they go 6-10 the year before?
I'd say probably is whatever you want. I mean, I don't remember what they were, neither do you. But it might just be a quarterback award. Obviously it is, because the top 2, position players are Nick Chubb and Derrick Henry, both at 80-1, and they're the only ones, even within 100-1. You have to go all the way down to Cooper Kupp at 100-1, Devontae Adams at 150-1. So seems as like a quarterback award.
It'll be Brady.
Brady's your pick right now?
Brady's my pick. I just think Bucks will get a top seed. I mean, his stats are ridiculous right now.
1,767 yards.
Most in the NFL.
15 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. It does look like they should cruise to a division title. We'll see if they cruise to the 1 seed. They did lose to the Rams, but that seems to kind of just be one misstep. The Bucs should still probably finish at least, 13-4?
Yeah. Yeah, and the Rams just tougher schedule. I mean, the Rams have to go through that division. They might have a couple slip-ups there. Like you said, Tampa, they could easily go 6-0 in this division if they wanted to.
I think I might miss his name, but Stafford 9-1 right now to win the MVP. Still get Mahomes at 15-1. That seems like wasted money. Right? Are you ready to cross Patrick off of the MVP? I guess you can't cross him off just because they could get hot and win every game, but man,
It's too early.
That's only they're going enough games. Although I guess, like I said, if he catches fire, you can't write him off. Josh Allen the favorite. We agree or disagree right now, just through 5 games. Kyler right behind him.
I disagree, man. Josh Allen's not being very good. We talked about this. Stats haven't been very good. Beating up on bad teams like he looked good against Sunday night against, in my opinion, maybe the worst defense in the NFL. No. I would give it to Brady. If not Brady, maybe Stafford. Maybe Stafford would be the next pick.
Stafford right now, number 2?
Right there with Lamar. I would put Lamar in the conversation as well. But I think it's Brady. I'm all in on Brady.
Brady at 8-1 seems like pretty good odds.
It does.
$1,800 divided by 5 puts you at what? $340 a game, $350 a game already?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Does that sound right? Because Brady's
360.
360. So if you take 360 and times it by 17, Brady's on pace for 6,100 yards.
What's the record for a season?
The record's 57, 5,800 somewhere there. I don't even know if it's even that high.
I don't know if it's that high.
Mahomes did Mahomes set it? Who even has the record? Most passing yards in a season. Peyton has it at 5,477. So, yeah, Brady on pace to shatter that.
Wow, he beat Breeze by 1 yard. I didn't realize that. Breeze is 5,476.
Yeah, it can't have been a coincidence.
Don't think
Peyton out like week 17 after it happened. Is that enough? He's like, okay, that's good. I don't know. Touchdown records, what, 55?
Mm-hmm. By Peyton as well.
So 15 through 5 games is 3 each. So that he's not on pace to break the touchdown record, but 50 touchdowns. And again, if they're close, Brady will throw more than 3 a game down the stretch. Yeah, 8-1. That seems like a pretty good bet.
Mm-hmm.
Seems to be a pretty good bet.
Yeah.
We'll get to our power rankings and we'll put a ball in the NFL conversation after the break. It's Talk Sports on Fan Run Radio. All right, let's hit some NFL post-Week 5, pre-Week 6 power rankings. Cam, who you got?
Last-minute shift, I had to change up my number 5 team.
Don't do that,
but my
guy.
number 5
That's
team,
ridiculous.
I got the Green Bay Packers. A little rough game
ridiculous.
against the feisty Cincinnati Bengals this past weekend. But they got it done. They got the win. Aaron Rodgers, you know what he's capable of. 4-1. I'm going to leave him in there. Started to look like Week 1 was at least somewhat of a fluke. So I'm giving Green Bay the 5 spot. Number 4, going with the defending Super Bowl champions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They rolled this past week against a Miami team that is fall. Talk about a fall. That Miami team is just completely fallen off from expectations last year, just everything in general.
The Dolphins and Raiders are sinking my win total. My team draft.
They're dropping quickly, but Tampa Bay took care of a bad team. Just what good teams do. Leaving them in my top 5. They're at number 4. Number 3, I still have the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams beat Tampa Bay. I'm still giving them credit for that. Bounced back this week. They're looking fine. Still 4-1. I think they're still a pretty dangerous team. Number 2, I got the Buffalo Bills. Rocked it out, beat Kansas City, who I still think people give a lot, even though they're struggling this year, I think people still giving that kind of win a lot of weight right now.
Sure.
And, I think that was just big for Buffalo, trying to get that little mental block they had against the Chiefs out of their mind. I think that'll be good for them moving forward. I think they're clicking. Their defense looks like it's actually maybe legit. We'll see moving forward, but you have them at number 2. And number 1, I got to give you credit for being undefeated. I'm going to give it to the Arizona Cardinals. Not the greatest game this past weekend, but hey, you're still winning. It's hard to win games in the NFL, and it's even harder to be unbeaten. And so you're still doing it. I'm going to give you that credit. And Arizona Cardinals number 1.
Doing it.
Yep. So until that changes, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
Didn't look great.
They got the Browns this weekend. They're underdogs on the road. Not surprising to be an underdog on the road, but, I don't know if they're going to go there and win. They have to feel good about the chances of, beating up the Browns defense after watching what the Chargers did to them. That'd be another good road win for the Cardinals. If they get past that, then they get the Texans at home. They could be 7-0 with a home game against the Packers, which would be on Sunday Night Football.
I believe that's Thursday night.
Thursday Night Football. That is Thursday night. You are correct. That's a big Thursday night game.
Be big, yeah.
Could be big for seeding. So we'll see what the Cardinals do this weekend. My top 5, I went with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at number 5. I wasn't overly impressed with them against Miami, but they just keep rolling.
Mm-hmm.
I do wonder if they're just bored or if they're just banged up trying to get healthy or a little bit of both. It does seem like their offense is going to be able to do stuff when they need to.
Yep.
Which they have, all except in one game against the Patriots, which weather, Belichick, Brady's emotions, all those things, no Gronk. Bad Chris Godwin game.
Mm-hmm.
To me, they're still the number 5 team. Number 4, had them a little bit lower than Cam did. The Arizona Cardinals. I think they're a really good team. I don't think they're the best team in the league. I think Kyler, though, for as long as he's healthy, is going to elevate them enough to get them, 11 wins?
Mm-hmm.
12 wins at least. The defense, I'm not sure about them. They looked great against the Rams. I think the Rams helped them. Looked great against the Jaguars. Jaguars stink. They get cooked by the Vikings, but they look good against the Titans as well. And then they shut down Trey Lance and Shanahan this weekend. So the defense still really good right now for as long as they're healthy. Isaiah Simmons, who was, a top pick last year, looking pretty good. Stonewalled
Right.
Trey Lance at the goal line with maybe the hit of the year so far this year. They seem pretty well-rounded. I may have been wrong about Cliff Kingsbury. My bad, Cliff. Number 3, I just always go back to their talent on offense. Best receiver in the league. Top 10 running back. Maybe the best quarterback of our generation. Who knows? Aaron Rodgers stays at number 3. I think they're going to just mosey into 13 or 14 wins, and then we'll have questions about them in the NFC Championship. But for now, we'll see what happens with Alexander. Is he officially out for the year yet, Zaire?
Oh.
The last injury report I saw for him wasn't great.
They placed him on IR, but I don't know if it was the 3-week IR or the...
I think it was just the short term from now. I don't think they've officially rolled him out for the year. That would be a big loss, but I think their offense is good enough to, make them another deep run. Their defense has been better than usual. And I got to say, it's been kind of cool seeing Randall Cobb back. Randall Cobb's been actually pretty big for them.
Yeah.
Randall Cobb was really good 2 weeks ago against Pittsburgh, and then came up with the catch of the day on third and 20 to set them up for a game-winning field goal. Randall Cobb, it looks like Aaron Rodgers knew what he was doing. Number 2, highest they've been in my rankings. Just really impressed. Big win. Quarterback, proving some doubters wrong. Josh Allen. Good performance by him. I think I even had them unranked last week. Big mistake by me. I dropped them off my list to put the Chiefs on there. Big dummy. My bad. Course correction here. The Bills are a top 2 team in the NFL. Right now, the best team in the AFC. Still want to see Diggs get back going, but Emmanuel Sanders is a much better number 2 receiver than Cole Beasley. Like, it does seem like overall the offense is healthier because they actually have a number 2 receiver, and Cole Beasley could be the number 3 guy.
Yep.
I think down the road that will be pay big dividends. They have ran the ball a little bit better this year. It does seem like Singletary and Moss, not a bad 1-2 punch. Number 1, I kept them there. I know they didn't play this weekend, but I still believe in the Rams. I still think they have the most talent of any team in the league. They got 2 top, 5 defensive players.
Yeah.
Maybe the best, actual in application 1-2 punch of wide receivers. I'm not saying that Woods and Cup are both the best duo talent-wise, but the way they complement each other, it does seem like they're always open.
Yeah. If one's not, the other one is.
It does seem like one of them is always open, and it's one of the rare tandems that I think you can see that both eat all the time.
Yeah.
Like, Woods has been a little bit slow, but even going back to the last couple of years, like, both those guys able to really eat and be relevant. Donald's still the best player. Ramsey's still a shutdown corner. Stafford's going to have questions all year until he wins the big game, but I think he is a huge upgrade over Goff, and I think they are going to continue to play good football. Henderson runs the ball well. Any qualms with my list, Draven? Bucks, Cardinals, Packers, Bills, Rams?
I guess not. I don't think the Rams are the best team in the NFL. I would still probably put Tampa, maybe Buffalo in there. I think we're overrating the Rams. Defense couldn't stop a backup quarterback in Geno Smith. But also Cowboys, I think, are a top 5 team.
I mean, they did stop him to win the game. They got an interception.
After Tyler Lockett fell down.
I mean, we're going to go and evaluate every defensive stop. Like,
No,
somewhere the
but he did
offense is
drive
messing
it,
up.
95 yards right down the field without missing a beat. I think the Rams' defense is completely overrated.
To cut a 2-score game to a 1-score game.
That's fine. That's fine. Just think you could put the game away. Geno had an opportunity to tie that game up and send it to overtime or win it. 6-point game.
And
wow.
And then the defense
Wow.
did put them away with an interception. Right?
I also think we are.
Am I making that up, or did they not get the interception?
They did, but again, it was
so they
because
did
Tyler
shut the
Lockett
door.
fell. Tyler Lockett fell down, or else that's probably completion, maybe incomplete. Not an interception,
Maybe
though.
intercepted.
Also, Packers are overrated. Packers did not look good against the Bengals. Blew a pretty nice lead there. Had a lead at halftime, had a lead in the fourth quarter. I'd be a little bit more concerned about Green Bay.
I think they're up 2 at halftime. I think it was 16-14.
I said they blew a lead at
A pretty
halftime.
nice lead at halftime. They're up at 2.
Okay. Still a lead.
You said
Still a lead.
It's not a pretty nice
They
lead.
were
It's
up
a 2-point lead.
22-14 in the fourth quarter and couldn't stop Jamar Chase. That's all I know. The Bengals should have won that game. McPherson makes a kick, they lose. And I don't think the Bengals are great.
Okay.
So Packers overrated, Rams overrated, Cowboys should be in the top 5.
Someone asked if you had a problem. You said not really. Then you said you do have a problem.
Just a little nitpicks here and there, but no big deal.
Okay. Well, good talk. That's our power rankings for post-week 5, pre-week 6. Stick with us. Let's talk sports on Fan Run Radio. Back on the program, people looking for the Chargers in the top 5. Not buying them there just yet.
Yeah, they're right outside of mine as well right now.
Not buying them just yet. I mean, I guess if you think the Chargers, beat the Bucks? Like, I don't think they would.
No, and all those teams in the top 5, I think I still like better than Chargers.
Yeah.
Man, what a game that's going to be! Ravens this Sunday, Chargers Ravens in Baltimore. That's gonna be fun.
It's a pretty good NFL weekend coming up, which is good because the NFL needs to kind of pick up the slack for college football this weekend. Like we said, Tennessee, Ole Miss. So far, the game of the weekend, really, unless you're buying Kentucky versus Georgia. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. I think that's going to be a blowout. So we're looking at a big Tennessee football weekend where they might be in the, really the talk of the town. If Tennessee beats Ole Miss, assuming everything, is there anything else that could steal the headlines there? Outside of Kentucky beating Georgia, is there anything else that could really steal the headlines outside of just some big team getting upset?
I was going to say upsets would pretty much be the only thing because it is a lot of heavy favorites against, maybe conference teams that should be wins.
So the Tennessee-Ole Miss game might be the story coming out of it, especially if Tennessee were to win. Neyland Stadium under the lights is going to be checkered. It's going to look pretty. And if Tennessee comes out and wins, you might have them as the headline.
This game should be on ESPN, man. Alabama, Mississippi State should be on SEC Network. I get it's not that big of a deal, whatever, but I completely disagree with that.
It really should be, and I wonder if they would have made a different decision had they known Alabama was going to lose and Tennessee was going to be 4-2. And then Ole Miss would beat Arkansas. I understood why they made an SEC Network when they did, just because Alabama's a draw, but Alabama already lost.
Right.
So I don't know if they're as much of a draw when they're not chasing perfection. Now, maybe people will be confused or, confused by the loss and intrigued by how they bounce back against Mississippi State, but Mississippi State's pretty terrible.
Yeah. They're going to kill them, right? Coming off a loss, we expect a complete blowout. Mississippi State.
Yeah, I think everyone expects a blowout. If Alabama doesn't blow out Mississippi State, that's more of a red flag than maybe losing to Texas A&M.
You think Tennessee Ole Miss most watched game Saturday?
No, not with it being on SEC Network.
See, if it was on ESPN though, probably would be.
If it was on ESPN, there would be a good chance, but it is not. It's on SEC Network, so I don't think it will get the same numbers. But I do think the build-up there will be good. You see Lane Kiffin posting out his little video.
Oh, what'd he post? Didn't see it.
Playing Rocky Top. Getting ready for Saturday at Vol Football, at Ole Miss Football, primetime at SEC Network. Got to make sure SEC Network sees it.
This guy.
Playing Rocky Top, though.
Of course.
Oh, he's doing it at practice, too.
Yeah.
Huh. What do you think? You think the players like him doing this kind of stuff, trolling Tennessee so much?
Well, every team plays Rocky Top in practice the week before the game.
Yeah, it's a common thing. You try to get people ready for it. You try to make them hate it.
That's fine. Whatever. I
Not
get that.
everyone tags SEC Network.
Well, yeah, and just Kiffin pretty much all summer has had little tweets here or there at the Vols. Just little stuff. I feel like he trolls us more than he does any other, even Alabama, or Ole Miss's biggest rival, and Mississippi State, whatever. It seems like he's always something about Tennessee, right? Or at least every now and then throughout the off season.
Well, it's feeding the troll. Mm-hmm. It's feeding the troll whenever he does talk about Tennessee, and Tennessee fans have stroked his ego for a long time.
But they have. They have. I just wonder
begging him to come back,
right?
Interacting with all of his tweets. Now, he has done some good things for Tennessee fans. He does, speak highly of Tennessee. I do think he genuinely probably regrets how it went down. He has done nice things for Tennessee fans. I don't hate Lane Kiffin by any means, but I think he interacts with Tennessee fans mostly because they give him the interaction and the response he wants. It makes him feel good.
What do What do you think the players though, for him? Like, how do you think they view this? Like him always.
I'd say the players don't care. I'd say the fans might care. The fans might be like, okay, enough.
Right.
But it's just Lane being Lane, I guess. What, do you think the players got a problem with it?
I don't know. I just think, like, man, why do you care so much about Tennessee? It's like this is a game like Ole Miss standpoint, we should win. Not a rival, not anything like that. And it still feels like Kiffin goes extra with Tennessee.
I wonder what he's saying behind closed doors. Like, he's not putting Tennessee over in the Ole Miss locker room, right? Like, is he doing a full-on, like, win this for me type of thing? Or do you think it's just kind of like there's no bad blood on his side? He's the one that knows he kind of messed up. Or is it like hey, screw these guys, let's go out here and beat them? Or is it just another game for them? I do wonder how he feels about it or how he's trying to. Like, with Alabama, I think maybe, at least with Butch Jones, maybe there were some of the players that wanted Butch Jones to get a victory. Although maybe not. Maybe they didn't treat Butch Jones as anybody who actually mattered. But they did at least post a picture with him and he's smoking his cigars.
Oh, man. Knowing Kiffin, I wouldn't be surprised if he's like making this a little bit, not all about him, but just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I would say he's warning the team. I would say what he said about it being loud and a good atmosphere at night and the team playing well. I do think he believes it. I do think he really doesn't want to lose this game. I don't know how much he's like going out there screaming, win this for me, but I guarantee you he doesn't want to get outdone by Josh Heupel.
Yeah, not at all.
Right? For him, it's beating Tennessee would feel nice. It's actually kind of shifted back and forth, like to a swing game to, oh wait, Ole Miss is this juggernaut. You can't compete with them. Now it's back to maybe more of a swing game. So maybe Ole Miss is actually juiced up for this. I would have liked to have seen them actually lose to Arkansas, maybe be a little deflated, but it does make the game feel bigger that they won.
I don't know. Kind of think they'd be a little bit more motivated to get a victory. Back-to-back losses, really needing to win at that point.
I just think for as long as you are riding near the top of the rankings, where are they at in the rankings right now? Like 12, 13, 14?
13 right now. Yeah.
As long as you're there, you can still be somewhat motivated, still be talking about Sugar Bowl and everything. So like they're probably talking about trying to run the table. I mean, who else they even have on their schedule left? I mean, that they're not scared of playing LSU.
Play at Tennessee, LSU at home, at Auburn, Liberty at home, and then Texas A&M and Vandy at home. And then they end in the Egg Bowl at Mississippi State.
So the fact they won that game against Arkansas keeps their hopes alive for like a Sugar Bowl. Getting a New Year's Six Bowl. I don't know if the Sugar Bowl is a New Year's Six Bowl this year or not or whatever, but trying to keep, one of the main SEC, assuming like Alabama and Georgia both make the playoff, although I guess that did get a little tricky after Alabama lost to Texas A&M. Now it would almost mean that Alabama has to beat Georgia in the SEC championship, right? For both teams to get in. Because Alabama probably ain't getting with 2 losses. The fact that they're not going to have any big victories other than Ole Miss.
My thing is, though, like, you really going to put you put undefeated Cincinnati over a 2-loss Alabama team?
I think if it's undefeated versus 2 losses, you have to.
Yeah, you got to.
What about a 1-loss Ohio State?
Over Alabama?
Yeah.
No, I think if you're a 1-loss Ohio State team, because you're going to have to beat Iowa and Michigan.
No, yeah, I guess you're right.
If Ohio State finishes the season with one loss, I think they have earned their way back.
They're locked in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially the fact that Oregon lost to Stanford. Like, you can say, okay, that was one bad game, but we are finished strong. We won X amount of games in a row. We beat top 10 Michigan, top 10 Iowa. Give us our spot. So it does feel like that loss to A&M did maybe put Alabama in a must-win-out situation.
What about Oregon? Would you put in 1-loss Oregon over 2-loss Alabama? With their weak schedule, like they don't play anybody. Yeah. Their best win's, UCLA if they beat them a little bit later in the season?
I would say that would be much tougher. Well, I mean, Oregon's best win would be Ohio State.
Oh, you're right. But I'm just saying since then, yeah.
Over a 2-loss Alabama team, I mean, but who would Alabama's best win be in that scenario? Ole Miss?
Ole Miss and
like if
Arkansas,
Ole Miss,
I guess.
If Ole Miss does them a favor and wins the rest of their games, and Ole Miss is like number 6 or 7 in the country, maybe, and You're like, hey, we beat this number 6 or 7 team by 30 points. Maybe, or I guess it ended up being, 21?
Yeah, 42-21.
Garbage time touchdown to lose by 21. Again, if you're looking and that's their only quality win, I don't know if that's going to be enough. Could you say they've earned the benefit of the doubt over the last decade? Yeah, probably, but I still don't know if you can put a 2-loss team in there with a loss to a backup quarterback, because A&M probably going to be hovering around the top 25 by the end of the year. Maybe probably outside of it, honestly.
Nah, they're not very good.
They're not. They played the game of their life and got some breaks and won that game. How high does Tennessee get ranked if they win this game on Saturday? Like, they'll be in the top 25, right?
Have to be. They'd have to be at that point. 19?
20?
You put them in the top 20.
You beat number 13 at home. Usually, you don't always just swap the place with the team you beat. I'm not saying you'll go up all the way to number 13, but Tennessee beats Ole Miss. I'd definitely say they're top 25, right?
Yeah, you'd have to put them in the top 25.
Yeah,
I don't think they get in the top 20. I think it'd be like 22, 23, something like that. Because, I mean, are we getting any votes right now?
I think we got like 1 vote in the coaches poll.
Okay.
We didn't get any in the AP poll. Which, I was a little surprised you didn't get any votes, just because the voters are usually like giving votes to everybody. There's always 50-something teams that have received a vote at least. Like, I thought maybe you might get some. You didn't, but that's okay. I think if you do look at the last 2 weeks, it's easy to deduce that both South Carolina and Missouri stink. But if you follow that up and you actually beat an Ole Miss team in primetime under the lights in a sold-out stadium, and your quarterback play still continues to look good, and people actually look and say, you know what, this team actually has improved, and that Pittsburgh loss, we can kind of excuse that one because, the quarterback situation wasn't great. Then I think you'll see Tennessee get, like I said, somewhere around 19 to 21.
I have 8 receiving votes in the coaches poll.
Okay.
Not too shabby.
This is the biggest home game since when? People keep trying to say since there's going to be the best atmosphere since 2015 Oklahoma. I don't know if I'm going that far, but a lot of people have.
Man, that game was crazy, though. Oof. It's going to be that wild? I don't know.
I go back. I thought 2016 Florida was wild. 2016 Florida was a little different. It was maybe not as much as you were excited as you were just there with nervous energy because you were trying to end the streak, and then you get off to that terrible start, and then your team tried. The fans stayed and tried to keep the team motivated, and then at halftime, some people left.
I had some friends leave.
Yeah, I did too.
I had a buddy said he just left at halftime mad. Yeah.
But that second half, whenever you had things going, it got really loud in there. I don't know if Ole Miss is going to hit that, but this does feel like the biggest game in Neyland since, is this bigger than 2018 Florida? This feels bigger than 2018 Florida, right? Feels bigger.
Yeah. I think so.
2017 Georgia, it's the last sellout, but I guess people had talked themselves into that being a big game. I didn't feel that way. Again, you played, who was it? UMass to 17 to 13.
1 by 4 against UMass.
That didn't feel like as big of a game as maybe it should have been. You checker kneel and you have the smoky grades. You're doing all these things and you just get your head beat in.
Right. Man.
I will say credit to Josh Heupel just for getting us here to where it feels like we have a big game because, a couple weeks ago we were talking about 80,000 people being there and who knows if the fans are going to come back and how much winning is it going to take for them to actually come back. And all it took was Lane Kiffin coming to town and a 2-game win streak, and now you got to sell out. How important is it to have a good performance? This is Heupel. If Heupel fails and Tennessee just doesn't look very good, that's going to be tough to come back from, right?
Let's get off to one of those fast starts again. How about it? Let's get up 14-0. Let's get this crowd just going absolutely berserk in the first quarter. That's what I want to see.
Hour 2 in the books. We'll kick off hour 3 of headlines. Let's talk sports on Fan Run Radio.